10 animals who hate their names. Number 1. The bone-eating snot flower. Bone-eating snot flowers despise their phlegm-tinged name. The word snot alone has doomed them to eternal mucus-based ridicule. They're seen by their peers as the ocean's used tissues. Other worms avoid them out of pure hygiene confusion, and even anglerfish give them space, worried they'll catch something that'll require a face mask. In truth, bone-eating snot flowers are delicate deep-sea worms living on whale bones, but no one hears the word flower after the word snot. The PR damage is permanent. If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. Stick around too, there's a name that basically tells the world you taste like chicken. 2. The edible dormouse. Edible dormice loathe their names. As far as they're concerned, it might be the only name that doubles as a restaurant recommendation. It basically tells potential diners, no toxins, no weird aftertaste, just pure bite-sized nutrition. Before humans named them, enemies of the dormice like owls and snakes had to ask each other, wait, is this the dude that burns on the way down, or am I thinking of the bombardier beetle? This question was always met with shrugs and confused silence, but now that the name includes an approval for consumption, when they ask the same question, someone always confidently answers with, all good, they're edible, it says so in the species name. 3. The devil's coach horse beetle. Devil's coach horse beetles believe their names are wildly misleading and far too dramatic for creatures that spend most of their time eating decomposing leaves. They're not chauffeurs for the underworld, they're just small beetles who have a flair for overreaction. When threatened, they raise their tail like a scorpion and snap their jaws, a performance meant to say back off, but which unfortunately screams, I'm possessed. Centuries ago, someone saw this and decided no normal beetle would act that way unless it was driving Satan's carriage. And the name stuck. Now they're forever condemned to sound like demonic chauffeurs when all they really wanted was to finish their slug dinner in peace. 4. The spiny lumpsucker. Spiny lumpsuckers believe their name makes them sound like deranged lump vampires, drifting around the ocean in search of fresh skin growths to hydrate on. In reality, they're small, round fish with suction cups on their bellies, just trying to cling to a rock without the stigma of being obsessed with skin surface irregularities. For the record, they don't collect lumps, nurture them, eat them, or offer second opinions on them. 5. The boops boops. Boops boops hate their names with the kind of quiet fury usually reserved for printer errors. Humans have this strange ritual of leaning in, tapping each other's noses, and saying, boop! Like it's a brand new joke that isn't overdone, worn out, or a violation of nasal boundaries. As a result, the boops boops enemies, which include larger fish and seabirds, don't just swallow them, they metaphorically boop them first. In that brief, humiliating moment, boops boops don't know what's worse, being eaten or being mocked for their name. Things become clearer, though, while they are being painfully digested. 6. The sarcastic fringehead. Sarcastic fringeheads can't physically roll their eyes when they hear their name, but you can tell they want to. They often embrace their inner Tony Robbins, giving a nearby goby a look that says, you can do it, bro, you can do anything you set your mind to. But the goby just blinks and swims away with an expression that says, no need to be sarcastic, man. Sarcastic fringeheads got their name because of their behavior. When threatened, they open their enormous mouths and press them against their rivals, a gesture that looks like either a kiss or an argument caught mid-plot twist. A long time ago, a biologist watched this happen and likely muttered, well, that looks sharp-tongued and mocking. I know exactly what I'll call you, and it's not going to be Oprah. 7. The pleasing fungus beetle. Pleasing fungus beetles detest their names, mostly because it sounds like they're trying too hard to get approval. They don't please anyone, they just live on fungi, which apparently wasn't descriptive enough for whoever was in charge of naming day. Now they sound like the brown noser of the insect world, buzzing around with the energy of someone who compliments the boss's new tie too often. In reality, they're quiet, hardworking decomposers who've never once sought external validation. 8. The go-away bird. Go-away birds wish their names would go away. They were named by some weird human who thought their call sounded like, go away. And it's true, every time they open their beak it does sound like an angry dismissal, so why draw attention to it, damn it? At first, animals aren't sure if they're being told to beat it, But when they see that it's the go-away bird, they fly off in the opposite direction saying, yeah, that name totally tracks. 9. The fluffy-backed tit babbler. Fluffy-backed tit babblers spend most of their time pretending not to hear their own name. In fact, many of them ask to be called Dave. Their name sounds less like a bird and more like a schoolyard insult that got way out of hand. 10. The chicken turtle. Chicken turtles take issue with the menu overlap of their names. They're freshwater turtles who did nothing wrong except apparently taste like chicken, and humans just couldn't keep that detail to themselves. Now every enemy from raccoons to alligators treats them like a limited edition meal deal. They're the one species where the marketing writes itself, and that's the problem. They don't cluck, they don't raise baby chicks, and they're tired of being compared to something that comes in a bucket. Which name would you dislike to have the most? Or is there another animal name that makes you cringe? Let me know in the comments. It may even make an appearance in part 2. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a quirky upload.